Do the shocks on your bike look like this? Somebody rattle canned them at some point in time? I mean, it doesn't look like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but it certainly isn't good. We're going to do a quick video on how to take these off, repaint them, make them look nice. Alright, and we're going to try to make them not look gawky even though we're going to be painting them, but it is what it is sometimes. My name is Dustin, this is Hard Cruise Racing. We're an educational automotive content group. We want to help you build custom cool stuff at your house, alright? This is a place where you can do your own thing. It's going to be loud because the heater's running because it's fall time and it's cold this night, but it is what it is. So, first things first on how to get these off, and I'm going to show you on the side that I already have off because, well, sometimes it's easier to understand when there's nothing in your way. First thing, these bolts, mine are 13 millimeter. Yours might not be 13 millimeter. Go find the right size, alright? Don't use some loosey-goosey ratchet. Just get the right socket size, okay? These are on here. Great. Pop those off. Bottom one and top one. Now, I'm going to tell you, do one side at a time. I also have the bike up in the air right now where the rear tire is just hanging. That's another good thing. If you can prop it up by the frame or get it up on blocks or something, this one has a center kickstand, get the rear tire up off the ground. It's going to take the tension off of that shock and they're kind of just going to be hanging. When you do one side at a time like I'm doing, if you can do one side at a time, it's great because the other side holds it right at the full extended length. Now if you got to take both of these off to do them both at once, you know, you're going to send it off to a paint shop or you're going to do something crazy, do it. Just try to get that tire just a little bit off the ground, kind of like how mine is now. So when you take both of them off, that tire sits on the ground, and then when you go to put them back on, you don't have to lift it too much. Alright, but what you want is you want the shocks and everything at full extension or close to where it's holding itself up. Alright, so two bolts come off. Washers came off with it. Now that one on the top had 3 washers with it. And I tell you what, I'm going to see if I need them when I put it back on, but you have to remember that these nuts right here bottom out, okay, the cap on them, so you only get so many threads. I might swap these out, but that's because this is a race purpose bike, so I might swap these out for something that's like a nylon locking nut or something I can visually look at, inspect, and make sure it hasn't rotated, because we'll mark all those. But that's a me thing. Alright, so get these off, keep them organized with how many washers go where. Probably don't organize them on top of a battery like that, a little dangerous, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, next up, I'm going to take the bottom off. That you should be able to grab and pull off. If you need a little pry bar, get in there with a pry bar. Rubber mallet is best because you don't want to mar and scratch and damage anything. Tap it out, okay? You might need to wiggle it, but get it out. The top side is going to go on this rubber bushing. You see that rubber bushing right there? That rubber bushing might not come with you. That's okay. You can swap that bushing if you need to, but if it's still in good condition, leave it if you can. Here's the top bracket. Mine's already apart, and I'll tell you about that in a second, but here's the top bracket, and so you can see that that presses onto that rubber bushing. Okay, so we're going to pop that off. And this, I tell you to do the bottom first because this one, you can leverage back and forth while pulling out. It makes it a lot easier to get this off that rubber bushing. Now you can see some of the ugliness to this side especially. This is why I wanted to get this off of here. Okay, that cap, it was painted at some point in time, it's flaking, it looks like crap. This shock looks like crap. Somebody obviously rattle canned right through the springs and all that. So we're just going to get it off so we can redo it. Next thing you're going to do, this spring is going to have some tension on it. Be careful. If I set this spring on here right now, just so you can see the distance past the top, you can see that it fully extends past where that top cap is. That means it's under tension. What I did is I went over and grabbed a ratchet strap I had, but this is I custom built this strap a while back. It doesn't have hooks anywhere on it. It goes right around and back to itself at the ratchet. But you need something with a tiny little distance here if you're going to try this on a motorcycle spring. And I ratcheted it down to take the tension off the spring. If not, you're going to have a heck of a time. So find something to compress that spring. A spring compressor would be great if you got it. A ratchet strap will work if you don't. That's where we're at, okay? I know everybody doesn't have a spring compressor. Once you get the top off, what you're going to have to do, okay, this is screwed on. See the threads in there? That's screwed on. So what you're going to want to do is find something to put in here and something to put right there. And you need to rotate one or the other. This nut is connected to the rod, and this will free spin. So what I did is I went and got a 3/4 inch, a little extra Ugga bar, set it on the ground. I set the round end of this in there. I got in there with a wrench. It was 17, is that where we're at? 17, I got in there with the wrench, and I hit that dang thing. What did I tell you that was? Did I tell you that was a 13? It's an 18, or a 17? Here, let's find out. Is it a 17? It's a 17. I don't remember what I said earlier. I think I was thinking of another bolt. It's a 17. Anyways, I got this on there through the spring, and I got that force right there, and I hit it with that rubber mallet. Rubber mallets or shock mallets, either or, are a great tool because they don't mar stuff and they don't hit as much, but they add a little bit of force to something. So I got it in there, and I held it on there, and I hit it with the mallet. Busted that loose, and I was able to grab the top and unscrew it, and then that comes apart. See? Now that it's apart, you got to pick what you're painting and what you ain't painting. For me, what I'm going to be painting is I want to paint this body. I want to shine this up a little bit with the, I don't know, maybe that drill and the wire wheel on there. And I'm going to be painting this spring. Alright, so the hardest thing with something like a spring, or even that piece, is that it's round. Okay, in a spring, you have to be able to paint the inside and the top side and the inside and the outside and the over here side and around here side and under here side. Kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that right up front. It's a pain to paint springs. You're going to have to do like a lot of coats, so spray thin per coat. What I'm also going to tell you is I just went around this with the wire wheel, and you can see how much you don't touch with the wire wheel. So what I'm going to do, somewhere around here, I have an old rusty, crusty, wire brush. I'm going to get in there as much as I can, knock as much crap out of it as I can, so that way the paint will adhere better. But I just got to be realistic on the outcome. Next, then what we got to do is pick colors. Okay, this is a cream, orange, and blue race bike. Some stuff's going to be that kind of blue, some stuff's going to be cream, and then the orange is going to be, where's it at? The orange is going to come in as my detail, and then obviously I'm going to have my number placards on each side, and so on and so forth. So what I do, and this is my personal thing, is I say that if something's going to be here, it needs to be here, and it needs to be there. You can see it on my race truck. If orange is going to be on the front, orange needs to be on the side, orange needs to be on the back, orange needs to be on the top. Okay, it makes it a fluid, singular project. So I know that right now the tank's going to be cream, and I'm going to have my hard cruise racing down the side of the tank. My number placards are going to be cream to match that, coming down cream, and then my numbers are going to be inside of it in black. And I might do, like, say, a blue and orange stripe or something somewhere through here to bring it together. And when I get down to here, I do not have any cream, and I do not have any orange, and I do not have any blue right now. Okay? I say right now for a reason. My frame's going to stay black. I know that. I don't have any plan right now for the wheels. And I need to figure that out, because right now I have cream going up, and I think some form of cream on the wheels would be nice. But if I put cream on the wheels, then I need to decide what I'm doing with the shock. I don't encourage that you make the shock big, bright, gawky colors necessarily. They wouldn't look bad on a race project, but on something else they might look bad. On like a daily driver, they're going to look like crap. What does look good is if you paint the outside of that body a dark color that matches your frame, like a black. You paint the inside of this body, which is inside that spring, the accent color you want to bring into it. Paint your cap the same as you paint the outside of your body, and then you need to paint your spring a neutral color. The spring can be a cream, the spring can be a gold, the spring can be a white, the spring can be something like that, but a neutral color that doesn't draw attention. And that allows you to bring your bright color into here, but not necessarily make it a eyesore on the outside of the bike. That's my opinion. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Which sounds terrible, okay? If I look over here, I just got some like old rattle can paints I grabbed from the back. That might be great for the springs. It's an old metallic gold that sat out in the sun though. It might be trashed, but springs are gonna get beat to snot, especially in racing. So this is a color I think I'm gonna try on those springs. Again, I'm gonna go with the neutral color on the bodies and then maybe an accent color on the inside. So if I go with this gold on the springs, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try it, and if I hate it, I just repaint it, okay? Gold springs, whatever this is. Metallic silver, I'm fine with that too. Whatever comes out of this on the springs. The body, I'm gonna do the cream color that's gonna match the tank, which the tank's way up there, so you haven't really seen that unless you watch the other videos. And then I'm gonna do like, let's do that blue on the inside. Let's bring more of that blue back here, okay? Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna look great. I'm gonna love it. So this is how you take them apart. This is how you clean them up. For paint, because we're using rattle can is just a thinner version of paint. Take any like automotive manufacturer like House of Color and places like that to do custom paints. You can buy rattle can House of Color paints. You can buy rattle can in anything, okay? You can have custom paints put into a rattle can. It's just thin paint, okay? So spray it really thin. So for something like that spring, I'm gonna spray it super thin, and I'm probably gonna do 5, 6, 7, 8 coats on that thing of super thin paint, because I am gonna spray this side and let it dry, and then roll it and spray it again, and let it dry, and roll it and spray it again and let it dry. And it needs to be completely dry before you roll it. Otherwise you're gonna screw it up. So just take your time. You can also stand it up on end, which actually, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stand it up on end over there, and I'm gonna go around it real thin, go around it real thin, go around it real thin until I get a full coating. I might take it and flip it over so I can see the other side and just inspect it. But that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna see how it's gonna come out. So yeah, let's see. That's the plan. Scrub everything, paint prep. I've done videos on paint. If you need videos on paint, go look at my videos on paint. Talks about using rattle cans for off-roading parts and stuff. So go look at those videos if you need those videos. Otherwise, I'll show you the good outcome on these. Alright, so I actually changed up my paint colors right in the middle of doing it, and I'll tell you why. Started to paint that spring, and I just flipped it over to dry, but I started to paint that spring, and it came out as a bright silver. I think the gold would have looked sick with different options, but because of that being silver, I think I'm going to do all blue on this. And there's another reason. That's because blue isn't as bright as I want this blue to be. So I'm going to kind of consider this blue to be a neutral color, or you know, a not in your face color. The orange, on the other hand, that's in your face. All right, the orange, we only put the orange where we want to slap somebody in the face, which is fine. But for right now, we're just going to use the blue and the silver on these springs. I don't know, I might do maybe those bolt heads or something in orange, but blue and silver right now. And again, I think I'm going to change my bolt heads, because a lot of what I put on my race projects are going to be like nylon locks. These are all nylon locks. I go through a lot of them. You can see them there, you can see them there. It's just the way I like to build stuff. I don't mind things like split locking washers, but I'd prefer to go with a nylon lock and then just replace them, because they're not that expensive. So yeah, I'm going with the blue and the silver, and we'll see how it looks when we get it on there, or at least when we get it put back together. Alright, here we go. There's our finished product. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I did not paint this cap perfect, and when I put it back on, I kind of dinged it up. That's on me. This is a racing product for me, so I didn't really wait for the full dry time. I didn't really care about any of that. If it's a street bike, care about it. I just really didn't, to be honest. When you're putting this top one on, don't try to beat it on, okay? Put it on, put your washer stack on there, maybe go grab a couple extra washers, put them on there, and then use the bolt to press the part back on. All right, that's what I'm gonna encourage. It helps. I ended up going with this blue and silver. I kind of like the silver on there, and then that's why I decided to go with the blue, because it's nice dull. Other parts of the bike will have the orange that I wanted. I'm gonna do, like, say, this logo and stuff in orange. I'm fine with that. But Here's your before, and you actually, this one's better than the one that I had over there. But you see the before, all right? There you go, there you go, there you go. Let's show the real side of that there. Here's your before, beat up, rusty, and here's your after. Silver looking good. So you can really see it right there, huh? And again, I didn't want that to be a flashy part. I wanted it to be nice. I wanted it to be neutral. I know it's a race bike, and sometimes people want to put way too much color on a race bike. I'm one of those people. I love orange, okay? But I wanted to keep that part nice and neutral. I'll put orange somewhere else back here. Maybe the wheels or something. I don't know. I'm happy with that, though. I think that looks classy, okay? And that's what I want to do. Vintage style, vintage looking good, looking classy. And I think I got that out of that. That's how you pull one of these apart. Paint them up, make them look nice. If you don't pull it apart, you're going to get an outcome that's similar to this one over here. You're either going to have to blast everything one color and it's just going to look okay, or it's just not, simply not. This over here, I didn't change out a single anything. It's the same nuts. I just knocked the paint off them so they were silver again. It's the same washers. I just tossed them up there on the table and misted them with that silver, just so that way it didn't look bad. And I threw everything back together, and it came out good, okay? So don't be afraid to pull your parts off and paint them and make them look nice, because I'll tell you right now, that is night and day difference from that. If you like the all black, I mean, go for the all black, but at least do a better job than what that was. But hey, I'm dusting this Hard Cruise Racing. I'm filthy. It's cold. I'm sweating because of this dang heater over here. It's dark. I'm going inside. This is a educational channel. If you like educational content like this, these how-tos, these but focused on allowing you to build custom things at home, do me a favor and subscribe. I like to have some fun, do some racing, do some cool things. Most importantly, get out there and have a good day.